Welcome to Sophisticated Simplicity, the podcast where we break down leadership styles, corporate power games, and the psychology behind winning in the workplace. Today, we're talking about the Gemini boss, the master of unpredictability, charm, and mind games. If you thought dealing with an Aries boss was intense or managing a Taurus boss was frustrating, prepare yourself, because Gemini bosses are in a completely different league. They are fast, sharp, and impossible to pin down. One day, they are your best friend, praising your work and flooding you with new opportunities. The next day, they are completely indifferent, or worse, treating you like you barely exist. With a Gemini boss, nothing is permanent, and that's what makes them both dangerous and valuable. Gemini bosses are mentally quick, persuasive, and socially dominant. Unlike Aries, who bulldoze through problems, or Taurus, who resist change, Gemini bosses thrive in chaos. They don't fear uncertainty. They feed off it. They love conversations, innovation, and intellectual stimulation, but most importantly, they love power dynamics. They will test you, push your buttons, and switch positions mid-conversation just to see how you react. If you take them too literally, you'll constantly feel like you're being played, and the truth is, you are. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you know how to handle them, you can become their trusted insider, their go-to person in a world full of people they don't fully trust. The biggest mistake people make with a Gemini boss is assuming consistency. These bosses are not interested in stability. They get bored easily. They will never respect someone who is too predictable or too rigid. They thrive on flexibility, adaptability, and quick thinking. So if you're the type who needs a clear, structured path to success, you're in trouble. They will constantly change the rules, switch priorities, and leave you scrambling. But here's the secret. This is a game for them. They don't just want someone who can do the job, they want someone who can play along and keep up. To win their trust, you need to match their energy. That doesn't mean being chaotic like them. It means knowing how to flow with their unpredictability without ever appearing weak or desperate. If they throw a random challenge your way, don't panic. Instead, respond with enthusiasm. Sounds exciting. Let's see what we can do with this. If they change their mind for the third time in a day, don't complain. Just say, "Got it, let's pivot." They notice everything, and if they see you getting flustered, they will lose interest in you. The people who thrive under a Gemini boss are those who can adapt quickly and never get too emotionally attached to any single outcome. But let's talk manipulation, because if there's one thing Gemini bosses respect, it's someone who knows how to navigate power. They love psychological battles, and if you always play the role of the obedient employee, they will never fully respect you. The trick is to engage in their game, but always stay one step ahead. If they throw out a vague or contradictory statement, don't immediately try to correct them. Instead, play along. Say something like, "I see what you're getting at. Are you thinking about shifting our strategy in a new direction?" This does two things. It makes them feel like they're in control, but it also subtly forces them to clarify their own thoughts, which they often haven't fully figured out themselves. Another powerful way to control a Gemini boss is by strategically feeding them information. They don't have the patience to research everything themselves, so they rely on insiders to keep them informed. If you can position yourself as the person who always has fresh insights, industry trends, or useful gossip, you become valuable. But, and this is key, never give them everything at once. Gemini bosses love mystery, and they will get bored if they feel like they've extracted all the information from you in one go. Instead, drip feed insights over time. keeping them coming back to you for more. If they sense that you always have something interesting to share, they will keep you close. Now, what if you're dealing with a difficult Gemini boss, one who is manipulative, erratic, or unreliable? This is where you need to outplay them at their own game. A Gemini boss will never admit to being wrong, but they will abandon an idea quickly if they feel it's no longer serving their interests. If they've committed to a bad decision, don't fight them on it directly. Instead, create an environment where they convince themselves to change their mind. Say something like, "I was reviewing some data, and I think we're in a really interesting place. If we tweak this just slightly, we could make the results even stronger." This way, you're not confronting them, but you're also nudging them toward a smarter move. And let's not forget the most dangerous trait of a Gemini boss. They are masters of deception. They lie effortlessly, mislead without guilt, and will say one thing today and something entirely different tomorrow. If you rely too much on their words, you will be blindsided. Instead, focus on patterns of behavior, not promises. If they say, "You're on track for a promotion," don't assume it's true. Watch what they actually do. Are they putting you in bigger meetings? Are they giving you real authority? Or just keeping you in place with vague assurances? With a Gemini boss, actions always speak louder than words. So, how do you ensure you don't become disposable under their leadership? The key is becoming irreplaceable in a way they don't fully recognize. If they think you're just an employee, you're at risk. But if they start to depend on you for your insight, your adaptability, and your ability to handle problems without needing constant direction, they will fight to keep you. The trick is to let them believe they are in control while subtly making yourself the person who keeps their world running smoothly. When it comes to promotion strategies, forget the "I've been here for X years" argument. Gemini bosses don't care about loyalty, they care about who brings fresh value to the table. If you want them to push for your career growth, present yourself as the one who brings innovation, problem-solving, and unique insights. Say things like, "I've been thinking about a new way we can approach this," or "I have an idea that might make this process even more efficient." Keep them curious, and they will keep listening. Final thought: Gemini bosses are unpredictable, but that doesn't mean they're unbeatable. If you understand how to move with their energy, keep them engaged, and play psychological chess instead of checkers, they will see you as a valuable player in their world of shifting dynamics. With a Gemini boss, the game is never over, but if you play it right, you'll always stay ahead of the curve. That's it for Sophisticated Simplicity, Gemini Edition. Next up, we'll break down the Cancer boss, the emotional strategist with a hidden agenda. Thanks for tuning in, and, as always, play the game smarter.